Hey everyone, it's Aiden here, and welcome back to the Mindshift podcast Level Up English. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a meeting or on a call with your boss or a client and thought to yourself, I understand the words, but I don't really get what they mean? Or maybe you wanted to share your idea, but you didn't know how to say it in a professional way, so you stayed quiet instead. That's where business English comes in. You see, in the modern workplace, English isn't just a language anymore. It's a tool. It's how you show confidence, how you build trust, and how you make people take you seriously. You might already speak English pretty well, but when it comes to work, you need to sound clear, polite, and confident.
Because the truth is, the way you speak can completely change how people see you. And here's the good news. You don't need to use big, fancy words. You just need to know the right kind of English. Phrases that professionals use every single day at work. That's exactly what we'll learn in this episode. I'll show you 10 powerful business English phrases that can make you sound more confident and fluent in meetings, emails, and everyday office conversations. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get started.
All right, let's start with one of the most common business English phrases you'll hear everywhere. Touch base. Now, if you're hearing it for the first time, it might sound a bit strange. It comes from baseball, yes, the sport. In baseball, players touch base to stay connected to the game, to stay safe. And in business English, it means something very similar, to connect or check in with someone after some time, usually to share updates or see how things are going. So when someone says, let's touch base next week, they don't literally mean let's touch something. They mean let's meet, talk, or follow up later. Let me give you a few real-life examples. Imagine this. You're working in a marketing company. Your manager says, Aiden, let's touch base on Friday to see how the campaign is performing. That means, let's meet on Friday and talk about the progress. Or maybe you send an email to a client. Hi, Sarah. I just wanted to touch base regarding the design proposal we sent last week. This sounds polite, professional, and friendly. You're not pushing or demanding anything. You're simply reconnecting. Now, let's see what not to say. A lot of English learners write things like, I want to talk about the project. That's fine, but in business, it can sound too direct or casual. Instead, you can say, I wanted to touch base and discuss the project details. Same idea, but this version sounds smooth, confident, and professional. Here's a short story example. When I worked with a startup team, our CEO used this phrase almost every day. He'd say, let's touch base tomorrow morning before the client call. And even though it was just 2 words, touch base, it immediately gave the feeling of teamwork, communication, and professionalism. It's like a friendly reminder that we're connected and on the same page. So remember, whenever you want to follow up, check in, or reconnect. You don't need to say, can we talk again? Instead, just say, let's touch base soon. I'll touch base with you next week. It's short, polite, and makes you sound like a true professional. All right. The second phrase you absolutely need to know for business English is circle back. Now, this one sounds a little mysterious at first, doesn't it? Circle back. What does that even mean? Are we going in circles? Well, in business English, to circle back means to return to a topic, task, or question later, usually after you've gathered more information or when it's not the right time to discuss it yet. It's one of those phrases you'll hear every single day in international offices. Managers, team leaders, and even clients use it all the time. To a real-world example, I once worked with a company where our weekly team meetings were packed. Sometimes 15 people talking at once. And every time a topic came up that needed more research or wasn't urgent, the manager would say, all right, let's circle back to that in tomorrow's meeting. It was like a professional pause button, not rejecting the idea, not forgetting it, just saving it for later. That's what makes circle back such a useful phrase. It's respectful, diplomatic, and helps you manage time and priorities. Here's what not to do. If you say, we will talk about this later, it sounds direct, but maybe a little too cold or casual. Instead, when you say, let's circle back to this later, it feels warm, professional, and team-oriented. That's the subtle difference business English brings. Let's practice a few examples together. Let's circle back to this topic when we have the sales report. I'll circle back with you after the client meeting. Can we circle back on this next week? These are the kinds of lines you'll hear in every modern workplace, from meetings in New York to emails in Singapore. A little cultural note. In American and British workplaces, people often use circle back in place of follow-up. But there's a small difference. Follow-up means you're checking progress or asking for updates. Circle back means you're returning to a topic or idea that was left earlier. So if your manager says, let's circle back on that, it usually means we're not discussing it now, but we will later. Here's your quick exercise. Think of one meeting or project you're working on. Write down one sentence using circle back. For example, we'll circle back to the marketing plan once the new data comes in. Say it out loud. Repeat it a few times until it feels natural, because the more you say it, the more fluent and confident you'll sound in real conversations. So that's phrase number 2, circle back. A simple phrase that helps you sound respectful, organized, and professional, especially in meetings or emails. Remember, business English is not just about fancy words, it's about the tone and timing of your communication, and circle back helps you master both. All right, up next, we'll talk about another powerful phrase that shows leadership and confidence at work. Take initiative. This one can literally change how your manager or clients see you.
All right, the next phrase is take initiative. And this one is powerful. To take initiative means to start doing something without being told. It's what good employees and great leaders do. For example, Sarah took the initiative to prepare the client report before the meeting. No one asked her, she just did it. In business, that one action shows confidence, responsibility, and leadership. If your boss says, I really like how you took initiative on that project, it means they've noticed that you don't wait around. You make things happen. Here's a quick story. When I was teaching English to professionals, one student told me his promotion started with one small thing. He took the initiative to fix a problem the team had been ignoring. No one asked him to do it, but that single action changed how his manager saw him. So, remember, taking initiative doesn't always mean doing something huge. It means being proactive instead of waiting for instructions. Next time you see a task that needs to be done, just do it. And later, tell your manager. I took the initiative to update the report. All right, that's phrase number 3. Take initiative. A phrase that can make you stand out wherever you work. Next, we'll move to another very common business phrase. In the loop. It's short, but extremely useful in daily office communication.
All right, phrase number 4 is in the loop. You'll hear this one all the time in offices and business meetings. To be in the loop means to be informed or updated about something. It's what you say when you want to stay connected to what's happening. For example, please keep me in the loop about any changes in the project. That means keep me updated. Don't forget to tell me what's new. Or you could say, I wasn't in the loop about the meeting today. That means you didn't get the information. You were left out. Here's a quick real-life story. I remember one of my students worked at a big company and he once missed an important email about a client meeting. Later, his manager said, sorry, I forgot to keep you in the loop. It simply meant, I forgot to share the information with you. So in your emails or meetings, you can say, can you keep me in the loop? I'll make sure you're in the loop on this. It's polite, short, and sounds perfectly professional. That's phrase number 4, in the loop. A small phrase that helps you stay connected and sound like part of the team. Next, we'll move to another great one. Get the ball rolling. It's energetic, positive, and perfect for starting projects.
All right, phrase number 5 is get the ball rolling.
It's one of my favorites because it's all about taking action and getting started. To get the ball rolling means to begin a project, task, or discussion. It gives the feeling of movement, of starting something important. For example, let's get the ball rolling on the new marketing campaign. That means, let's begin right now. Or you could say in a meeting, once we have the budget, we can get the ball rolling. It's professional, positive, and shows that you're ready to move forward. Here's a quick story. I once worked with a manager who used this phrase at the start of almost every meeting. He'd say, all right, team, let's get the ball rolling. And everyone knew, time to start, time to take action. It always brought energy to the room.
So if you want to sound confident and proactive, this phrase is perfect.
And that's it for today's episode. We've learned some of the most useful and powerful business English phrases that you can start using at work right now. Remember, it's not about sounding perfect. It's about sounding confident, clear, and professional. Even small phrases like touch base or get the ball rolling can change how people see you. Because language isn't just communication. It's confidence in action. So the next time you write an email, join a meeting, or talk to your boss, try using just one of these phrases. One small change today can create a big difference in how you connect and grow at work. And if you keep practicing these kinds of phrases daily, you'll notice your English doesn't just improve. Your mindset improves too.
You'll start thinking like a professional, not just translating like a student. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Aiden, and this was the Mindshift podcast, Level Up English. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's also improving their English. Until next time, stay curious, stay confident, and keep shifting your mind.